Welcome to the Texas Military Department's Time and Leave Approval Demonstration in CAPS. This video is intended for all state, federal, and military employees who supervise state employees. In CAPS, first and second level supervisors have access to state employee timesheets and are responsible for managing time and leave. If you are a new federal or military supervisor of state employees and need access to CAPS, please contact State Human Resources. This video will give an overview of the Manager Summary Approval page and demonstrate how to approve and enter leave on behalf of an employee. Once logged into CAPS, the user's homepage is displayed. The menu bar here displays different options depending on the user's security role. All supervisors should have access to the Manager Self-Service and Time and Leave Approval buttons. Clicking on the Time and Leave Approval is the fastest way to see if you have any time to approve. It will state if you have time to approve or not and provide a shortcut to the Manager Summary Approval page. As you can see, I have time to approve. In addition to the shortcut, it gives instructions on how to navigate to the Manager Summary Approval page from the main menu. I'll demonstrate that. To go back, click on Home and select Manager Self-Service. Here, you will see the areas available to assist you in managing your state employees. This video will focus on the time and leave management, but notice you can also view employee personal information here, compensation history, and run reports. Within time and leave management, you will most frequently access the Manager Timesheet and the Manager Summary Approval page. State employees are required to certify their time monthly, so you may also view or edit time certifications here. You can also change an employee's standard schedule under View and Edit Time and Leave Setup, or override scheduled workdays over here. These functions are demonstrated in other training videos. To see the employees that you are responsible for approving time in CAPS, click on Manager Timesheet. Any employees that directly report to you should be listed here. I only have one direct report named Test Manager. I can access their timesheet from the manager's view if I click on the employee's name. This is the Manager Timesheet. To go back to my list of employees, click on Return to Direct Reports. Notice this icon to the right that looks like an organizational chart. This indicates that my employee named Test Manager also has direct reports. To view them, click on the icon. I can also access their timesheet as their second level supervisor. This is this employee's timesheet. To go back, again, click on Return to Direct Reports. If you see any direct or indirect reports listed that you should not have access to, or any of your employees do not appear here, please contact State Human Resources. Now that you know where to find your employee timesheets, I'll show you the Manager Summary Approval page, where you can see an overview of pending leave requests. You can either navigate back to the Time and Leave Management page through the home page, or you can select it through the breadcrumbs at the top of the page, here. Time and Leave Management, Manager Summary Approval page. From this page, I can see that my employee Test Manager is requesting to use 3 hours of sick leave in May. If I click on the icon to see the indirect reports, I can see that the test employee also has some leave requests in May amounting to 16 hours of vacation and 12 hours of sick leave. I can toggle back to the other employee by clicking Return to Summary Approval page. Notice the boxes below Approve and Deny. It's a little misleading and looks as though you can take action by approving or denying leave requests on this page. However, you will see that they are inactive, and you cannot check either box. This page only functions as a high-level overview or summary. Any action by you must be taken on the timesheet. Now, to access the timesheet again, click on the employee's name. The Manager Timesheet view is generally the same view that the employee sees on their timesheet, with a few additions. You will see the header with the employee's personal information up here. The next section displays the employee's leave balances. All types of leave will be listed, even though not all employees are eligible for every type. Those that show a number in the current row reflect the leave balance available to the employee. It is best practice for employees and supervisors to make daily entries into CAPS for the leave balances to remain current and reflect real time and for accurate processing of payroll. The next section shows the schedule grids and is where time and leave is entered. Notice the hours listed below the days. This indicates the employee's standard work schedule. This is set up by Human Resources initially in CAPS. This employee is scheduled for 8-hour days, Monday through Friday, and off Saturday and Sunday. The schedule does not capture starting and ending times, just the total hours scheduled to work each day. If this schedule is wrong, or an employee would like to change their schedule, supervisors can do this in CAPS. All state employees at the Texas Military Department are exception-based reporters in CAPS, meaning the only time entry is required on the timesheet is when an employee deviates from their standard schedule by taking leave or working more than their scheduled hours in a day. So this standard schedule is very important that it's accurate. All time and leave entries on the timesheet require a time reporting code. You may hear these referred to as TRCs. Notice these two columns on the timesheet in the schedule grid. TRCs are associated with a type of leave and allow the system to pull from the employee's leave balances shown above. There must be a separate line added for each type of TRC being used. As a supervisor, it's within your discretion to decide how you want your employees to request leave. Discuss with your employees your preferred method for requesting the use of leave or working extra hours. This may still be done through the employee leave request form or other means of communication outside the CAPS system. Time and leave entries in CAPS can be made up to 90 days in the future, so if you prefer, leave requests can be made in the system in advance. Now I will address the sick leave request that is pending approval on the timesheet here. This employee has entered a request to use 3 hours of sick leave on Monday, May 8th. Notice the status column here. The employee does not see the status column or the deny button. This is only on the manager timesheet. It's very important to be aware of the 3 statuses of a leave request row. These include NA for needs approval, AP for approved, and SB for submitted. A row with the NA status or needs approval represents a time or leave request that has been entered by the employee and is pending your action. Within the schedule grid, you can edit the response if necessary. For example, if the employee ended up being gone longer than expected, I can change the amount from 3 to 4. Or if the employee ended up not leaving work, I could select Deny, and eventually it would be removed from the timesheet. Take notice of the pending approval row under leave balances. Since the initial request was for 3 hours, you see 3 is listed here. Now if I were to go ahead and select e-sign and approve at the bottom, without making changes to this row, the request would have been approved at 3 hours. Be aware that if you have multiple leave requests in a needs approval status on the timesheet, when you select e-sign and approve, you are approving all pending requests. So you should review all of them and edit or deny if appropriate. before clicking this button. Now I want to go ahead and approve the 4 hours of sick leave, so I'm going to select e-sign and approve. When you get the save confirmation, click OK, and you will return to the timesheet. Notice the status has changed to AP for approved. Also, the pending leave balance has been updated and shows 0, and 4 was deducted from the available and current balances. There is a nightly automated process that runs in CAPS called Time Administration that updates leave and payable time balances. If you were to check this timesheet tomorrow, the status here would change to SB for submitted. This means the leave has been processed in the system and submitted to payroll. Now I will show you how to enter time on behalf of an employee. Let's say this employee was also out sick on Wednesday, May 17th, but the employee has not made entry into CAPS yet and I want to do it for them. I must enter in the row under the scheduled grid where May 17th is captured. To select the TRC, I can either enter the code or look it up with the magnifying glass. I can use the scroll bar here, or I can enter the first letter and the list will be condensed. Sick T for sick leave taken, I can either select the description or the TRC code. Once I've got the TRC entered, I can go to the day and enter the number of hours. I can also enter comments as well. Notice hours entered directly on the timesheet by a supervisor are automatically placed in an approved status and skips the needs approval status. Now I'm finished making entries on the timesheet, so I want to select e-sign and approve. Select OK, and you will be navigated back to the timesheet. If you see your entries here, you know it's saved. Be aware that any time you take action on the manager timesheet, the employee will receive an email notification. Supervisors, however, will not receive email notifications every time an employee makes an entry on the timesheet. Supervisors should get in the habit of logging into CAPS regularly to check the manager summary approval page, or request that your employees let you know when they have entered something for your approval. 10 days after a time and leave request is entered by an employee, if the hours are still in a needs approval status, then you will receive an email notification auto-generated in CAPS. If the request is still in a needs approval status after 17 days, another email is auto-generated and sent to the second level supervisor. Now that I have approved the time and leave requests that were pending from my direct report, I will check the time and leave approval portal from the home page. Notice it has updated and it shows that I'm no longer pending any approvals. I can select home to go back to the home page or sign out if I'm finished with the system.